Hi, my Facebook world. I'm going to hold on here because this is so important to me that you hear clearly this story. And I've got some of you faithful followers, so when you dial in, first of all, I want you to know that you're hearing us well. And if you are, when you populate here, I just need to dial in and say, hi, okay, hi, I see you're starting to join on. I am here with Stephanie Kroon, and anybody that's watching right now, can you hear me very well? So if you can, Judy, do me a favor. Judy, hi, can you hear me and Stephanie if Stephanie starts talking?
Yes.
Can you hear Stephanie? Hi. Because this story is so important that I want to make sure that everybody that is out there listening is hearing this. So a thumbs up, drop a little 1 in the comments, and let us know that you're hearing it, because we need this to be heard. This is my friend Stephanie Kroon, and I'm going to launch in here and start sharing her story. I met her last night, and when she told me about her story, I said, we have got to share your story. It needs to go live. It needs to be shared. So Stephanie, tell me, just begin to share with me what you shared last night. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to make sure, and you are the featured guest here. So please let me know, talk to us. What is your story about the magic of this little golden wonder? Okay, talk to us here.
So I had the privilege of meeting Becky last night and was just sharing with her a little bit about our life and kind of our journey. And it starts 7 years ago. We were placed with a little boy. He was 6 months when he came home to us. Really not much information on his paperwork, but we fell in love with him immediately. Had him for 6 months and did adoption 6 months later. Through that process, tireless days and nights of screaming and crying and knowing that there was a lot going on inside of him, but not really knowing what it was. So we pursued all kinds of therapies and medications, and eventually by the age of 4, we had him diagnosed with ADHD. I knew that ADHD was only a symptom of what was really going on inside of his body. So we started this process, and it's been about 3 years of doing naturopathic medicine, a lot of different modalities, different therapies, several different medications, and finally was given the diagnosis of fetal alcohol syndrome, which we pretty much knew he had. We just needed another set of eyes on him and really needed a professional to come in and help us. So the fetal alcohol syndrome diagnosis was given to us, and when we left Phoenix Children's Hospital, we left with a huge binder about this big, and I went home and dove right into it and read it, and at the end of it, all I said was, there's nothing for us. We've got nothing. And we were doing a lot of different therapies, and one of them being a cognitive behavior therapy, and we kind of came to the end of the road with that, and our family was just struggling so much. And she said to us, I really feel like something for you to consider might be a group home at this time. And I remember the tension with my husband and I at that point. And the next day, we didn't talk about it. And the next day he said, I will cut off my right arm before that kid goes to a group home. He is ours. And I thought, you know what? I feel the same way. So I remember a couple of days going by and saying, you know, I can't do this. Our family's struggling, and it's not in my hands anymore. I'm taking back control, because I was like a hamster on a wheel, just running and running and running, trying to fix him. And I gave it up. God, this is yours. Intervene, bring something to us. And about 4 days later, I received a phone call. Someone had heard about my kiddo, and she has a child with autism, and she had tried some products that were incredibly healing for him. And I said, I'm in. I always say I am that mom that will get in my car and drive to the desert of Mexico and pick that plant that nobody's ever heard of before, if there's any kind of hope that it might work. So I met her in the parking lot of a JCPenney's and was handed a group of some products, and I started him on a protocol that was given to me, it was advised for me to do. And at this point, again, exhausted all everything, and I was in. So about 4 days later, my kiddo with high sensory, doesn't like to be touched, held my hand and told me they loved me. And we had a significant reduction in length of tantrums that we were having. And the story just got a little bit better. A couple weeks later, we were really busy in our home, and I forgot to give the nighttime medication that helps him sleep. And I came home from the gym the next morning, and it was 6:30, and he's still sleeping. I thought, this is really strange. That's not normal. 7 o'clock, still sleeping. About 7:15, he wakes up, rubbing his eyes, and we're about 5 weeks in on the protocol that they set us on. So the next day, we forgot the medicine again. The next day, forgot the medicine again, this nighttime medication. I touched base with my husband. I said, have you been given the medicine? No. Have you? No. So we stopped the medication. So we have reduced, one medication is gone. It was his nighttime medication. It's actually a blood pressure medication that's to help him sleep, help with impulsivity, help with aggressive behavior. And just to go back on that, we were also doing that medication not just for sleep, but also because he first grade, in 3 months had been suspended 9 times. So he has a really hard time with body control, hard time. It's not his heart, it's not who he is. He's an amazing kid. He doesn't intend to ever hurt anyone, but when you don't have control over your body and you get super excited, sometimes other kids are hurt in that. And thankfully we have an amazing team at school, but again, I'm super excited to have him on this because now we have one medication that he's off of, and I'm fully in. I'm just super excited about how we continue on this. If I'm seeing this at 6 weeks, what am I going to see at 6 months? What will I see in 1 year? I don't know, but I can tell you that I'm not stopping because the journey's pretty fun, and I'm excited to see what else comes our way. So that's the story.
That's amazing. So, yeah. So those of you that came in a little bit late, Stephanie has a son that she adopted at birth with fetal alcohol syndrome, and they didn't know for quite some time. Now, Stephanie, what is your professional background?
I'm a licensed holistic nutritionist, and I work in the healthcare field, and had exhausted, I felt like, all natural therapies. High doses of omega-3s, homeopathic medicine, no gluten, no dairy, to where we didn't see progress. This is, I feel like, the first time that we have been able to try a natural product that we've actually seen some good positive results. I'm seeing it in his brain. I mean, if we can help his brain, help the inflammation, because if you think about fetal alcohol syndrome, for the entire time that he was in utero, he was being showered with stress, with a drug, with toxins, and his little body isn't capable of being able to detoxify that and get rid of that. So that's what I feel like we're currently doing. We're utilizing a product that has been clinically shown, scientifically proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. So when I heard that, I said, yeah, I have the perfect person for this to start taking this, and knowing the ingredients and they're all natural, I didn't have any fear in trying this because I'm well educated on all natural supplements and ingredients, and again had tried so many other supplements, but again I didn't feel like I had anything to lose in this. I thought we'll give it a shot and we'll see what happens, and I've been incredibly pleased.
So we're going to interject one thing right here, that this little yellow pill, and she took that, and there's a Nrf2, Nrf2, and then actually
the probiotic as well.
Probiotic.
Because if we can increase that good gut flora and increase the good bacteria microbiome in the gut, that's going to increase those neurotransmitters to the brain, and that's going to help regulate mood, more serotonin. If we can get more serotonin, sleep gets better as well.
Wow.
And
then what about the Axio?
And then the Axio. So we're also using a drink, and at first he's so funny because again, you have sensory problems, so am I going to be able to get this in him? Didn't like it the first couple of times, so I just put it in a little bit of water, and now he even says, "Oh, it's my brain drink," and that's what we call it. It's your brain drink. It makes you be smarter and make better choices, is what we call it.
Wow. So he has Axio in the morning, the caffeinated?
Correct, because with ADHD, and the caffeine is more of a relaxing, it has a calming effect on him, whereas somebody else who doesn't have any frontal lobe issues or damage or delays, the caffeine, they might be sensitive to that, but for this kiddo, he does actually really well with it. And we are still on our stimulant and the daytime medication, but super thankful that that nighttime medication has been taken out of his protocol. It's been 2 weeks now, and he started June 1st.
Wow. So it's only been 6 weeks. So, you know, we'll never claim, and these products, we are not claiming, nor do we claiming these products heal, mitigate, cure, or prevent any diseases at all. That's not what this is about. This is her story. This is her story about her how old son?
He's now 7.
7-year-old son who has seen some life. And little break there. And so you've seen life-changing results that have resulted in life-changing family dynamic. And so this is their story. And what happens when you remove oxidative stress from your body begins to repair itself, and that's simply what has happened. And that was a story to be told. Who knew that a child birthed into fetal alcohol syndrome would have the kind of results from Nrf1 and Nrf2 activation and ProBio and our Axio mixed together at 7 years old, the kind of results. So Stephanie, your story is amazing. I am so happy for you, and because of this, now she has to share it with her world, and she is sharing it with her world and seeing what can take place in other people's bodies and the lives of children that really could use this, that wasn't any help for before. So thank you for sharing so much.
Thank you for letting me share.
All right. Well, you all have a beautiful day, and you know, as always, I love to share a great story. This is, yes, Bob, what a blessing.
Huge blessing.
Changed their life. God is so good.
God is good.
All right. Love you all, my Facebook friends. Mwah. Have a beautiful day.